In this video, what I'm going to do is show you my coal power. Now I've actually got turbo fuel now, so I'm not using coal really. I'm not going to delete it because it's there and it's working. I don't need the nodes for anything else. I put a lot of effort into getting this right. You can have a look and see how many I've got. I've got 72 coal plants over there, producing 5.4 gigawatts or 5,400 megawatts. I'll jump in my Hyperloop here to get to it. You can probably get see the extent of my base as I look around. Now at the moment we're in a tube because I've got them stacked, but as I come out you can see the kind of extent of the scale of my base and how much I've built, where I've got different things around. So this is my coal power. There's a few redundant above ground power poles here that I need to delete. I have actually moved everything underground, so you can see under here where my coal power is getting fed from. You can see there's water and coal, and I've got I think 3 or 4 nodes worth of coal here. I think it's about 1200 coal, something like that, 1080 coal maybe, which is needed to feed the 72 coal power. Needless to say, I do have enough coal power to actually achieve this. I've got way more coal coming in because although I've got the node that's just under here, I've also got two 480s worth of coal coming in. So I've got 840 or 860 or whatever it is worth of coal coming in on those 2 conveyors that you can see in the distance, and it feeds the other 2 rows. So each conveyor is effectively a row of coal. And you can see I've got rows and rows of coal power plants, 72 in total. If we have a look at my power usage, you'll see that they're not really utilised much because I'm actually using turbo fuel now, so I've got 28 gigawatts at the moment of power, most of which is coming from turbo fuel. I'm not going to bother deleting these because I do like the way they're set up, and you can see how neatly they're lined up and stacked. I've just got nice rows and rows of coal generators. If we have a look from below where they're fed, there's actually 11 pipes worth of water to feed these, so that's a lot of water. Each pipe can do 6 and a bit worth of power generators. So with 11 pipes you can actually do what you would think would be 12 pipes worth of generators, because they only actually use 45 rather than 50. So if each generator used 50, each pipe would do 6 generators, but it actually does 6 and a bit, and with 11 pipes you can do 72 generators. And you can see these are fed from below. So this layer here is actually a utilities layer because it's power and water. So the water comes in and gets fed into, each pipe gets fed into 6 power generators. So each of these 4 pipes that I've got stacked together gets fed into 6 generators. All of the pipes at the end, because for each pipe there's going to be 6 times 5 meters cubed left, gets fed into a buffer and then fed back round into the other generators. So I'm using every single drop of water of each of these 11 pipes if the power generators are at full power usage, which it's unlikely they will be anymore. But if they were, I do have enough water for exactly 72 generators. So where does all this water come from? Because that is a lot of water, and you'll notice although it's coming uphill, I have no pumps. There's no pumps pumping the water from down here to up here, and that's because it comes from a long way away. Now I'll speed up the footage as I do this so you can actually see quite how far these pipes come and the scale of my infrastructure project here. But I'm going to run along the pipe so you can see just how far the water is coming. And yes, this will be sped up. Okay, so we're nearly there. I just stopped at this point because I want to show you where this water is actually coming from. If you look, there is a waterfall, and that's where the water comes down. Now, it took me a long time to do that, and I'll go and show you a close-up of that in a moment. But hopefully you can see the scale of this project of transporting the water that far. It took a long time and a hell of a lot of copper sheets. So if I approach the waterfall now, you'll get an idea of the scale. It doesn't actually do it justice from this angle because it doesn't look that impressive. But as I get closer, you'll get an idea of just how big those pipes are. If you compare the size of the stacked pipes at the bottom to the height of the waterfall, you'll see just how far I've actually come down. If anyone's interested, I'll do a video on how I made vertical pipes that long, because it's not that easy and it took a lot more time than I would care to admit. So there is my pipe waterfall. The water comes down and is then stacked together for neat transportation in those 11 pipes. And that's why I don't need any pumps, because the way water works in this game is if the water is coming from a high point, it can raise to any point up to the highest point before you need a pump. So that's why it can go into those coal power plants, which we can just about see in the distance. If you look at where my cursor's pointing, that's the coal power plants right in the distance. They can be fed without using any pumps. So I'll just let you admire this for a moment, because this took a lot of work to get right, and you can see it from pretty much any point on the map that this waterfall is visible from. It's not the neatest down here. I've tried to avoid unrealistic clipping. There's a little, but it looks okay, and the main thing is this looking nice from a distance. So that's quite a nice little waterfall. So that's how my coal power works. In the next video, I'll show you my oil production and turbo fuel.